Hi, welcome to today's lesson. My name is Teacher Mary. I'll be taking you through Social Studies revision sheet from Unit 3, People and Places. Let's get together, be ready with your revision sheet. Number 1, you are supposed to study the following words. Number 1, physical feature or physical geography. This is the study of features of the Earth's surface, the way the Earth looks like, whether it has mountain, it has valleys, it's plain or plateau. That is what we call physical feature. Number 2, we have island. An island is an area of land that is surrounded by water. An island is an area of land that is surrounded by water. Number 3, we have inlet. An inlet is a feature where water leads off from the main body to form a narrow arm. Is a feature where water leads off from the main body to form a narrow arm. Salt marsh or salt marshes. This is an area of lowland near the coast that is always wet with seawater or is often flooded by sea. So if you go near the sea and you find a place where water has flooded, that one we call it salt marsh. Beach. A beach is a sloping area of sand or pebbles on a shoreline. That one you're going to find it so many places, like near the ocean, near the sea, we have beaches. Then number 6, desert. A desert is an area where there is very little rain. You're going to find that most of the time in the desert it doesn't rain, and we have a lot of desert where we stay. So those are the 6 vocabulary words that we learned in Unit 3. You're supposed to study them all and get to understand the meaning very clearly. Make sure that you refer to your books for photos and more explanation. We have number 1, physical geography. Number 2, island. Number 3, inlet. Number 4, salt marshes. Number 5, beaches. Number 6, deserts. Let's go to number 7, mountain. What is a mountain? A mountain is an area of Earth's surface where the land rises steeply and of great height. Everybody knows how a mountain looks like. Number 8, we have plain. What is a plain? A plain is an area of flat land. This one you're going to find it doesn't have mountain, it doesn't have valleys. You are going to see in this physical geography is that it's just plain. It doesn't have ups and downs. We have number 9, plateau is a high level plain. That one you find it is a bit raised from the ground. Number 10, we have valley. What is a valley? It's a long hole between mountains, or you're going to find that it's always between mountain. It's long area between mountains or hills. Number 11, we have oasis. It's an area of desert where water can be found. Number 12, we have a cave. It's a passage or hollow under the ground that has been formed by natural process. Those are the 12 vocabulary words that we looked at in this unit, and you're supposed to study them very well so that you don't confuse, especially number 8 and number 9. Study well, know the difference between the plain and the plateau, because most of the students confuses between a plain and a plateau. Then we have the valley, which we have said it's a long area between the mountain. We have oases. We have said this is a place in the desert where you are going to find water. And we have a cave. It's a passage or a hollow under the ground that has been formed by natural process. When we mean natural process, we mean something like water and so on. Let's go on to question B. Use the words in the box to complete the following sentences. Use the words in the box to complete the following sentences. Which are these words? Number 1, water, land, trees, fish and sea creatures, minerals and metals, and we have oil and gases. Number 1, all life on earth depend on water on its on it for survival. You cannot survive without water, so you need water for you to survive. People live on land and they use it in different ways. We know that we live on land, we don't live in water, and we use land in different ways, growing crops, building our houses, and so on. Trees supply wood and timber products, which we use this one for building, making tables, making doors, and so on. Fish and sea creatures live naturally in the ocean. Everybody knows that fish does not live on land, but it lives in the sea or where we find water. Mineral and metals are natural occurring non-living solid substances. And we have the last one. Oil and gases are both found buried deep in the earth crust. So don't also confuse between number 5 and number 6. These are what you should consider more or concentrate more, especially minerals and metal. We said that are naturally occurring non-living solid substances. And the last one, oil and gases, are both found buried deep in the earth crust. So meaning that you have to dig deep for you to get them from where they are. This one, we have some materials or we have some things that are used to exhume them from the ground, and you use them for our daily uses. So boys and girls, those are what you should study. From number 1 to number 6, make sure that you study them very well, and don't confuse any here. You should be very careful whenever you are answering your questions. Number 7, we have words in the box: food, industry, settlement, and transport. Let's go to number 7. Transport takes or carries people or goods from one place to another by means of vehicle, aircraft, or ship. Transport is anything that carries people and goods from one place to another by means of vehicle. When we mean vehicle, we mean something like a car, something like a bus. It will take you from one place to another. Number 8, food. It's any nutritious substance that people and animals eat or drink in order to maintain life and growth. You know, you cannot survive without food. So it's anything that people and animals eat or drink for them to maintain life and growth. Number 9, we have industry, economic activity concerned with the process of raw materials and manufacturing of goods in factories. You're going to find this is where people are going to be constructing some buildings for them to be processing raw materials from some things, or to process something that you need from these raw materials. Number 10, we have settlement, a place, typically one which is previously been inhabited, where people establish as community. This is where people live, or they make it to be the place to live. Let's go to question D, modes of transport. What are the modes of transport that we have? We have land, water, air, walking, and cycling. Those are the 4 modes of transport that we are going to be discussing today. Number 1, this is the fastest mean of transport. Which is the fastest mean of transport? Of course, it is air transport. Number 2, the movement of people, animals, and things from one place to another on land. What do we call that one? When people move from one place to another and they are using land to do that, we call it land transport. Number 3, this is a good way to be active. Which is the best way to be active? It's walking and cycling. Number 4, this means of transport where boats and ship are used. This is a means of transport where boat and ships are used. What do we call that one? We call it water transport. So those are the four modes of transport that we have. We have air transport, which is the fastest. We have land transport. This is where you're going to find people and animal walking on land, or it's used on the land. We have walking and cycling, and we have water transport. Walking and cycling, it's a good way to be active. And number 4, water transport. This is where you find that people moving from one place to another using ship, using boats. We call it water transport. So those are the four modes of transport that we have: air transport, land, water transport, and we have finally walking. Question E. Put the following words from the box to their correct column. Put the following words from the box to their correct column. What are these words? Truck, helicopter, submarine, vans, aircraft, though, space shuttle, tractor, sailboat. You're supposed to read the words, know how it looks like and where it is used, then you put it in their correct column. What are these columns? Number 1, air transport, land transport, and water transport. Where do we put truck? That is land transport. Helicopter, that is air transport. Submarine, you find that one in water transport. Van, land transport. Aircraft, air transport. Dome, water transport. Space shuttle, in air transport. Tractor, on land transport. Sailboat, on water transport. So those are how you are supposed to arrange them in order. You read them one by one from the box, then you answer them, or you put it in the correct column so that you don't leave any unanswered. Choose the words from the box and place them on the correct column, like just like the way I have done. Truck, land transport. Helicopter, air transport. Submarine, water transport. Van, land transport. Aircraft, air transport. Door, water transport. Space shuttle, air transport. Tractor, land transport. Sailboat, water transport. That is how you should arrange them one by one without leaving any of them out. Just look at them. You should be able to understand not only these ones that are here. There are so many others that they can be placed. For example, you can have something else apart from these ones that are there. You just need to study them and know where they are used. True or false questions. This is where you are going to answer if the question is true or if the question is false. Let's start from number 1. An island is an area of the Earth's surface where land rises steeply and of great height. An island is an area of the Earth's surface where the land rises steeply and of great height. That one is false, because an island is not high. An island is a place whereby it's a land surrounded by water. Number 2, a fertile land is a place where food crops and animal farming takes place. A fertile land is a place where land crops and animals farming takes place. That is true. Number 3, caves were used by people or shelter for thousands of years. Caves were used by people as shelter for thousands of years. That is true. Number 4, a map shows the height and depth of physical feature. A map shows the height and depth of physical feature. True. An airport is on the map is shown by an airplane symbol. An airport on the map is shown by an airplane symbol. That is true. A map with more details allows you to see the physical features more clearly. That is true. Number 7, most people in the past lived in towns and cities. Most people in the past lived in towns or cities. Our answer is false because most people were not living in towns or cities. So it's very important for you to read step by step. For example, if you see number 1, where it says an island is an area of earth's surface where land rises steeply. Definitely that one is false because an island is not defined that way. Number 8, food is grown in large towns and cities. That one is false. We said that food is grown away from town and cities. Number 9, people have built modern transport to move them around and between towns and cities. People have built modern transport to move them around and between towns and cities. That is true. Number 10, land transport move people and goods over land in different types of transport. Land transport move people and goods over water in different types of transport. That is false because land transport moves over land and not over water. 11. Some people have private boats for pleasure and recreation. That is true. Some people have private boats and private boats for pleasure and recreation. 12. Walking and cycling is a way of making people active. That is true. Population is all the people living in the village alone. That is false because population is whereby all the people that live in a country. Number 14, population is made up of group of men and women, boys and girls. That is true. We say that all gender makes that. Resources are